Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to our webinar on patient conversion systems for the Internet. I'm Ron Romano and Dr. Neil Baum will be along shortly. And we're very excited you could join us tonight. We're going to cover a lot of information. So for those of you who can stay until the end, we have a special gift for you. It's something that we've got, and Neil and I have been working on this for quite a while, so we'd really appreciate it if you could stay to the end. And you know, marketing on the Internet has its challenges, and I just want to start with a particular quote, which is by Dale Carnegie. And this one is, "Success is a matter of principles, of universal laws which can be enumerated, taught, learned, and adhered to, then used as skills to deliver predictable results." And that's very, very true, because we use a lot of systems in our practices or in our businesses. We can't run without systems. There's systems you know, that are made for our employees. There are systems that are made for our accounting. There are systems for marketing. All these systems we have to implement if we want to be successful. And marketing on the Internet is a system. And you have to be aware of that fact, that it is a system. Now, Neil hasn't quite arrived yet, so we just will continue along here, and Neil's going to have to catch up to us. I'm sorry, we had a bit of a glitch there, and I guess you did see that that one slide that I had, which success is a matter of principles, of universal laws which can be enumerated, taught, learned, and adhered to, then used as skills to deliver predictable results. So now we're getting on the same page, and everything should be going along fine here as soon as Neil joins us. But what we want to start with is really helping you understand implementation is key to success in everything. So it's all fine and dandy to be aware of these things, but if you don't implement them, it's like having the winning lottery ticket in your pocket, but never cashing it in. So you have to be able to use these skills and implement them to be successful. So patient conversion. Patient conversion is really a multi-step process, and it really consists of a number of different things. The first one is attraction. You have to be able to attract patients online. I mean, if you can't attract them, you can't get them to the conversion point, because they're never going to find you. So you have to implement a lot of different marketing systems so that you can attract, convert, and retain patients online. So attraction is the first step in the process. And you want to be able to attract automatically those people who are specifically looking for your products or services. And that's being on the first page of Google. If you're not on the first page of Google, then they're never going to find you. So if you're going to be successful online, you have to be on the first page of Google. I mean, people are typing in keywords looking for you. They're looking for your services, and they're doing that all day long, 24 hours a day. So you have to be in front of them. So how do you get on the first page of Google? I mean, it's not impossible. A lot of people do it. It really is a system. I'm getting back to systems. So there's two ways to get on the front page of Google. Number one, you can pay for traffic. You can use Google AdWords or banner ads. You know, and depending on your keywords, Google will tell you exactly how much they're going to charge you for that. The second way is to provide the search engines with the information they want, so when prospects type in your keywords, you come up on the first page of Google. That's called organic SEO. Now, basically, you've got most of the people going to the organic search. Probably 94% of the people will go to the organic search versus the paid search. So that's where you want to be. That's the trusted search. That's where you should be. Now, to get on the first page of Google, I mean, like, what's Google looking for so they can put you on the first page? Well, they're looking for keywords in code, keywords in your meta tags and anchor text, and headings and images and URL pages, and site-wide links on lists, submit buttons, videos, flash scripts, sitemaps. Those are all keywords that you have to put in your code. Now, besides keyword and code, they want keywords in your copy and headlines. They want you in Google Places. They want inbound linking. They want internal linking for keywords. They want clean and accurate website coding. And they want new content, which is basically you can put on your blog. But content is king on the internet. And you have to be aware of social accounts with keyword relevance. And that's Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All the search engines place a very, very high value on keyword or on this social media accounts, your Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But if you haven't implemented any marketing processes on your website that converts visitors to prospects and prospects to patients, you're wasting your money, because you can get them there, but you're not going to convert them. So that's key. Now, if you're not on the first page of Google, you're basically invisible to your target market. So website conversions, which really is what this is all about. So how do you increase website conversions? I mean, like 95% of people make 7 most common website mistakes. You know, it's having conversion systems, marketing systems, using strategies and techniques. You know, they're standard. It is a system. But most people make these mistakes. And if you can stay away from these mistakes, you'll probably have your next steps, you know, much, much easier to implement. And the first big one is no online marketing processes. You have to put yourself in the mindset of the visitor. Like, why did the visitor come to your website? It's not about you. It's about them. They came looking for a solution to their problem. So, what do you want the visitor to do when they come to your website? You want them to find that solution. So help them get to the information they want as soon as possible. Website visitors have very, very little tolerance and will spend very little time looking for solutions to their problems, looking for what they came for. If it's not in front of their face, chances of you converting them are now slim, because you've got less than 10 seconds to do that. Now, the next biggest mistakes, no SEO keywords in your code and your copy. So you got to make sure that those keywords are relevant to what people are searching for and they're in your copy. You have to capture emails. People are going to go to multiple websites. And when they go to multiple websites, if you don't capture their email, the chances of now keeping in touch with them are slim. So you have to have some sort of automated sequential email follow-up that will build a relationship. This is what you want to do, because people want to do business with people whom they have a relationship with, someone they trust. And the only way for you to do that is by email. The good news is it's the preferred method of communication for a lot of people. No call to action buttons on every page. You'd be surprised. You go to a website, there's not schedule an appointment on the first page. Not even a phone number a lot of times. But it has to be not only on the first page, it has to be on each and every subsequent page. No testimonials on the first page. Testimonials are extremely important nowadays. I mean, we expect you to say that you're the best, you're the greatest, but when other people tell me that you're good, then that's believable. So what other people say about you is infinitely more important than what you say about yourself. I mean, how many people to go search now on medical review websites looking for what other people say about you? And we'll cover that a little bit later. And no links to social media. This is very, very big. And even if you're not posting on social media, which you should be at least once a week, the inbound linking is very, very important to front page or first page ranking on the websites. All of them, whether it's Google, Bing, Yahoo, they place a high degree of importance on social media. So it really boils down to design versus functionality, because when we make a website, chances are you pick a design that you like, or you've gone to somebody who happens to be a designer, whether it's aunt, uncle, cousin, brother, or someone that you pick off the internet, and you want something that looks pretty. Pretty is nice, but does it convert? Is it functional? And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What I like may be totally different to what you like. If I have 100 people that are sitting in front of an art gallery and I go tell them to go in there and pick out the best picture, the nicest picture, you'll get 100 different pictures. So functionality is much more important than design. So implement function for your patient conversion systems on your website. Don't worry about it looking good as long as it's professionally laid out and visitors can get what they're looking for. Your website will be successful. Now here's some websites that I've pulled off random off the website, and a couple of them are former clients. And what you've got here is you have a number of different websites that are pretty looking, and a lot of people spend a lot of money for these websites. Now what's important is, can the user find what they are looking for? And that's extremely important. So here's another website, and this one's for a cosmetic surgeon. This one is for a dentist. This one is for Dr. Richard Meyer, who is a surgeon. And this one is Neil Baum's website. Neil, are you here?
I'm on the phone.
Terrific. Can you tell us a little bit about your website, Neil?
I want to tell you how fancy I thought I was when I had that website. And I'll never forget my conversation with you when you said, Neil, what is your purpose? And I said, oh, I'm really trying to get patients with urologic disorders. And you said, well, Neil, you have a very attractive staff, and also they're very photogenic. It looks like you have an escort service is what you are trying to sell. And I never really quite realized that I was using eye candy, but I was thinking more like what I was interested in rather than the patient. And I'll never forget when I had this conversation with you, Ron, how you really opened my eyes about the functionality of the website. What is its purpose? My purpose was to gain patients and to interact with patients. And here I was looking like I was providing a dating service for anyone who called. It was a real eye-opener for me to see this example and get an opinion from someone who knew what they were looking for. And then can we show my new website now?
We sure can. Big difference, isn't it?
Yes. Now this is my new website designed by you, and I have to tell you the response that I am getting is about 10 times as great as the previous one. And I only giggle when I look at the previous one, because now I'm able to target exactly the kind of patient that I want in my practice. It is much more functional. There is more interaction between the viewer who can look at my website and find in my practice what they are looking for, because in my practice I focus on 4 disease entities: vasectomy, enlarged prostate, stress incontinence, that's urinary incontinence, and impotence or erectile dysfunction. And now the viewer can go right to any one of those 4 topics and drill right down to it with a video, with articles, with testimonials, and it's much more functional and much more effective. Thank you, Ron.
Oh, you're welcome, Neil. But this is basically a system, and you can't see it here, but we do have rotating images that go from vasectomy to enlarged prostate to stress and urinary incontinence to ED impotence. So those revolve and they go quickly. But this is what's called a 3-column website. There's a column on the left, a column on the right, and of course the middle column. But if you look at it, there's some very important things in here. And this can be implemented on any website. And the first thing in the system is an email capture. and it's important to capture email addresses. Now on this one, we're giving away a complimentary medical guide for improving sexual intimacy. And Neil gets people come to his website and they enter his email or enter their email address because they want to get that report, which allows us to send out an email to them with the report and allows us to also send out a monthly newsletter for Neil. Also on here, we've got request an appointment. It's right here. Now, people read from left to right, so they're going to go from the top left-hand part of the website and go across to the right-hand side. The pictures draw them to the middle, and of course, they always end at the right-hand column. So this is where we want the important things. We also have a patient survey, and we have a patient survey on Neil's site. So what we can do with this is take the responses that patients leave there and post them online to medical review websites. We have, of course, the main procedures, so it's very easy for visitors to come here and find exactly what they're looking at without doing multiple clicks. And of course, we have the social media sites here, easy to get at, and we have patient testimonials all above the fold. And Neil also has video testimonials. So even though this may look busy to a lot of people, it has everything that a patient would want when they come to the website without having to do multiple clicks, without having to really search on the website trying to find things. Now, this is from Google Webmaster, and really it's about the amount of content you see on a page once you click a result. This is one of the algorithms that Google has, and they have over 200 when they want to rate websites, because they're looking for high-quality websites. And what they further state is you click on a website, and the part of the website you see first either doesn't have a lot of visible content above the fold. That's not a very good user experience, and such sites may not rank as highly going forward.
Ron, why don't you explain about above the fold to our audience?
I'll do that. Above the fold, and actually I'll get to it in one of the Yahoo slides we've got here a little bit
Okay,
later. So I'll just hold on to that one. But scrolling is important because web users spend 80% of their time looking at information above the fold. Although users do scroll, they allocate only 20% of their attention below the fold. And we'll get into that in just a second. And how do they come up with this? Well, what they do is they use eye tracking studies. And they basically track the eye movements of people that go to websites. What they do is they hook them up to a bunch of electronics, put websites in front of them, and you'll see where their eyes go first, which is the red part. And then the green, the yellow part is the next place where they go, the green, and then the blue. And you can see as they go down the page, there's very, very little attention paid to below the fold and not very much time. Otherwise, it would appear in red, it would appear in yellow, or green. So just a couple of the other studies they do, and it's all basically the same. So this is what Yahoo says. People scan the main sections of a page to determine what it's about and whether they want to stay longer. They make decisions about the page in as little as 3 seconds. And if they decide to stay, they pay the most attention to the content at the part of the screen. When people do decide to read a page, their eyes sweep horizontally from left to right. So I'm just going to go back a bit because I think that I missed that 80-20 rule. It was like the fold, eye tracking. In web design, there's much confusion about the page fold concept and the importance of keeping the most salient information within a page initial viewable area. That is, in fact, the definition of above the fold, which simply means viewable without further action. So that's what is above the fold, and that's what readers pay attention to. So when you construct a website, you want to pay attention to what's above the fold. So let's just go through a website, and I'll show you a bit of some before and after websites to show you that this is a system and how easily you can implement the system on your website. This is Dr. Meyer's website before, and this is Dr. Meyer's website after. And if you take a look at it, he's got everything right in the middle. Knee replacement, sports medicine, and hip replacement. That's his main focus. Now, of course, if he has a drop-down menu above all the procedures will come into play. He has testimonials. I'm 100% better now on the left-hand side. He's got the schedule his appointment button right on the right-hand side. And even though a lot of people say this looks busy, what we found was people who come to this website have greater page depth, and they spend more time on the website than they did on this previous website. This one's for a cosmetic surgeon. This is his before website, and this is his after website. Again, the same type of system. 3 columns. His testimonials on the right-hand side. He's giving away a free diet book. He's got SEO copy in the middle. Everything is here for people to get at quickly and easily without going up and down the website or making multiple clicks. This is one for a dentist. And this is Dr. Gary Moore. That was his before. This is his after. Again, his main procedures are right in the middle. His reviews are on the left-hand side. He has a new patient special offer on the right. He has a refer a friend. And he has content specific to SEO. This is for a urologist like Neil. And this was his before website. This is his after. Again, the same system. And although designs look different, it's a systemized approach to marketing, which is contact information. It's on every page. He has procedures right in the middle. He has email capture. He has request an appointment above the fold. He has his social links. He has his testimonials, his copy for SEO, and a refer a friend. Everything is above the fold. Everything is easy to get at for a user to see. And that's what's important. And that's why you want to have everything that you can above the fold in a professional manner. You want to make it easy for them to get at everything. But don't think that your website's going to be busy. It's going to be too tough for people to read. And what you want to do as well is, if you can, have a special offer. Like this one is for a dental website. This one is for a cosmetic website. It's a little more difficult to do it for a straight, surgeon or a urologist or an OBGYN. You can't do the same thing. But these special offers do attract attention and do capture emails and have a very high conversion rate. And now for the results. Here's one of what one of our clients had written. Our new patients have over doubled from an average of 22 to almost 50. Our staff hit the bonus. So they've noticed a substantial difference in the results. And if you can capture emails, this is a big part of conversion, which is email marketing. Sending emails to your patient builds a much stronger relationship. You want to keep in touch. Emails educate your patients on all the services you provide. You get more booked appointments. You also get more leads for referrals. And it converts prospects to patients. Now, Neil, you send emails to your client or your patients. Do you find it makes a difference? Like you send a monthly patient newsletter that we do for you.
I found this to be a huge difference. And the reason being is, if you try just to send one email out and you're trying to measure the return on the investment, you're probably going to be disappointed. However, if you have constant repetition and keeping your name in front of those potential patients or existing patients who can return, you will find the return on the investment is huge. And so my finding is that the more you keep your name in front of a patient, existing or potential new patient who has been on your website, the more frequently you do it, the more likely you are to convert them to a existing patient. And it's been my observation that it's got to be at least 5 emails to keep in front of them with current, useful information, things that are up to date, things that they can't get anywhere else, and things that signify that you are a credible source of new information that keeps them coming back and wanting to read your email and then go to your website and make an appointment. So email to your people who have signed on to your website for your free offering of your white paper or whatever it is that you are offering is a wonderful way to capture emails to keep in front of your patients on a regular basis.
Now, your newsletter that we do for you, Neil, is basically a 4-page newsletter, and we put it on your website. But, like emails is a system, a process, and there are many different kinds to do it, or ways of sending emails. A newsletter is one way. Now, newsletters, when you send them out, because they're a little bit longer, you do have to link them back somewhere, and we link it back to the website. We also link to the social media as well. So you can, post that you have a newsletter and get that coming back to your website as well. You can do it on your Facebook and your Twitter, which helps out. There's different types of emails, as I mentioned. This email is for a cosmetic surgeon, and it's more of a conversational email as opposed to a newsletter. And this one is how to lose inches on your lunch hour. So we get into a conversational. It's getting to be that exciting time of year again. The warmer months are just ahead, which typically means we're out and about more. We wear less clothing and spend more time outdoors. It's a common time of year to try and look our best. So often found toning up the gym, watching our diet, and buying new clothes. So this is all appealing to what people are interested in. Again, very conversational.
John, can I make a comment?
Sure.
I make a comment about titles?
Yes.
This is a very, very clever title. Any person who looks at this email is going to say, yeah, I'd like to learn to lose inches on my lunch hour. I think I ought to read that. I'm curious, how does one do that? And I think the title has to be almost like a billboard. You're driving down the highway, you see a billboard, and what is on that billboard makes you decide whether you're going to pull over for gasoline or for a restaurant or a restroom stop. And I think these titles have to be very clever, and they have to be very intriguing. They can be humorous, but they have to be able to pull your reader in to drilling down and to reading the rest of your newsletter. And this is a very, very good one.
Actually, Neil, you are an expert on titling articles when you post for social media or whether you post on your blog. You generate so much interest with just that title. So you're absolutely correct. You have to get people wanting to read what you're posting. On this one was on Smart Lipo, and the end results were they had 29 responses and 12 booked appointments. And for this particular cosmetic surgeon, each appointment is worth approximately $7,000. So it's definitely worth it to send out emails. This one is another type of email, which is a relationship building email, and you should send out, if you're not sending out a newsletter and you want to send out conversational emails, you have to build relationships. And building relationships is recognizing events that happen monthly. And if you do that, you'll get your emails forwarded, you'll build a stronger relationship, and they will come back to you because you'll be top of mind, top of presence. Neil, we went to your website and we have that, that patient survey, and you have testimonials. Can you tell us a little bit about how important patient testimonials and managing your reputation online is?
For physicians, the most important thing we have to protect, and which we work our whole career to create in a positive way, is our reputation. And our reputation can be spoiled and soiled so very, very quickly by someone who has had a negative experience in the practice. So what you have to do is you have to capture testimonials from your patients on a regular basis. So if any negative one occurs, there's 10 or 20 that think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And consequently, if there were only one and it was negative, a reader might say, I don't know that I want to go to that practice. On the other hand, if there are 20 that are there that say that they've had a great experience and they are applauding the doctor and the staff, that dilutes significantly that negative comment. So one of the ways that I do it is if a patient says to me, I'm happy with what you did, and you changed my life, and I'm just so very, very delighted. I say, could I ask you to contribute that to my website? Now, if I give them a card and tell them to go to my website and make a contribution, very few will do it. If, on the other hand, I have a form in every exam room and I quote the patient and write it out and ask them to sign and date it, and I think signing it is very important. A testimonial that has initials and a city is not very credible. However, a testimonial that gives the person's name becomes much more valuable. And so I collect it on site, and I have them sign the form of the paper, make sure they're comfortable with it, asking them on their permission to use their name in the testimonial, and then I send it to Instant Marketing, asking them to post this immediately onto my website. And it is usually done within 24 hours. So the testimonials that I collect are on the website within a day after the patient has given it. And so I think it's very important today, more than ever before, that we go out of our way to capture positive comments and compliments that we get every single day. We get them. Now what do we do with them? I think we have to take them and post them on our social media and on our website, so when we have online rating reviews, we score very, very high.
You know, Neil, a lot of professionals tell us that it's difficult to get patients to give testimonials, but you're dealing with a very sensitive area, and yet people still give their testimonials, and you capture videos of them, which is just amazing.
Nothing can be more sensitive. I don't care what kind of a practice you are in. Nothing can be more sensitive than a man with impotence or erectile dysfunction, or a woman with sexual dysfunction and no orgasm, or urinary incontinence. And I have rarely found someone that I can't craft a message that doesn't tell the diagnosis, but does tell how happy they are with my practice. So if a doctor says I can't get it, you tell them that the urologist in New Orleans is able to get it on reasonably sensitive topics and hasn't had a problem. So there are no issues or topics that patients have that you can't get them to craft a response that makes them appreciate or signify how appreciative they are that they came to your practice.
Well, the bottom line is that you can't wait for a bad review to show up on the internet. You have to start soliciting positive reviews. So you have to be proactive in this area, and it is really, really important that you do it. So as you can see, if you want to be successful on the internet, I mean, conversion consists of a lot of different pieces. The first piece is attraction, being on the first page of Google, Yahoo, Bing, like being in front of those prospective patients. The second piece is having conversion systems on your website, whether it's email marketing, whether it's follow-up emails that you have, whether it's schedule appointment button. You have to have all this on your website. And if you don't do anything to retain your patients, don't be surprised if they go someplace else.
Can I give you a metaphor that I think most physicians will resonate with in terms of attraction, conversion, and retention? And that is, when a patient comes to you, to your office, they come by various methods and means. And that's how you attract them. You attract them by your reputation, by word of mouth, by another referring physician. Just merely the fact of having MD after your name is an attractor. And then you have that patient come into your practice, and it's your relationship with the patient that converts them to accepting your treatment plan. The treatment plan could be medication. The treatment plan could be a surgical procedure. The plan could be you're sending them for diagnostic studies. The conversion plan could just be hand-holding a good listener of someone who is empathetic and has a kind, wonderful staff. And then after they have that positive experience with you and you solve their problem, then the retention phase kicks in. And that's when they go out and sing your praises and tell other people about that positive experience. And then their friends, their family, and the world of the internet come into play, and then you get new patients and you start the attraction process all over again. So I think this is a behavior pattern that physicians are very comfortable with, and if they think of it as getting patients in, diagnosing and treating them, giving them a positive experience, and then they go out and tell others, is what the full cycle of attraction, conversion, retention is all about.
That's great, Neil. Thank you so much for those, those words and the insight on that. Basically, 94% of all failure is a result of the system, not the people. And that's because we don't implement systems. We usually throw up a website or do things because we're being reactive instead of proactive to the situation. So how many marketing systems do you have in your practice? Like, do you have search engine optimization for attraction? Do you have website marketing systems that will convert on your website, which also includes social media and reputation management with testimonials, or email marketing for retention? If you don't have any of those systems, you should really consider getting them, because it'll make a big difference to the bottom line in your practice. Because the difference between goals and results is implementation, and you have to implement these types of systems in your practice if you want to be successful. Well, there's a couple of things here. Number one, thank you for staying with us until the end of this. And Neil and I have just finished a book on internet marketing, and we're going to send you a book on it if you just leave us a note. There's a space to leave a note on this webinar. Give us your name and phone number or address, and then we will email you an online copy that you can download. And as well, if you want a complimentary website and internet marketing analysis, just give us a call or send me an email. You can call us at 888-909-9916 extension 102, or email me, ron@yourinternetdoctor.com, and we'll go through your website, your internet marketing, and show you how to make what you have better, more functional, as opposed to just looking pretty. And
can I give you a testimonial, Ron?
You sure can, Neil.
It was about 3 years ago that I listened to a webinar very similar to this, not quite as sophisticated because we've come a long way in the last 3 years. And I asked Ron if he would give an analysis of my website, and I didn't have any social media at the time. He reconfigured my page, and you have seen how it is done. We have got myself a blog site on WordPress. I have a YouTube which has 70 videos on it. I have a Facebook page, and I have Twitter. Well, I'm happy to say today that I get 3 to 5 new patients every single day as a result of that early conversation and that early marketing analysis. I would encourage everyone to take advantage of this. It absolutely changed the way I practice. It changed my marketing and communication skills, and unbelievable how it has changed my bottom line to 3 to 5 new patients every day. For that, Ron, I thank you. You can use my name.
Well, thank you very much, Neil. But it is important for all physicians to really pay attention to the Internet, because you're either going to survive or die in this Internet era. Thank you for attending, everyone. Thank you very much, Neil. And we'll probably do this again. So thank you and good night.